So just testing levels now. Woohoo. Sorry, it's gonna be a bit loud. Alright, is this much better? Alright, I'm gonna just test on YouTube because I'm doing a little test before I start the stream properly. Are you gonna hear myself for a second? Sorry, it's gonna be a bit loud. Alright, is this much better? Alright, I think you can hear background noises when I talk. Just test. But honestly, I think it's okay. Maybe a tiny bit down. I think there's a problem with the UI though, with the intro thing. Is it stopping? Oh, no, maybe I need to do a media source. Oh, I think I need to do a media source. Yeah. Loop. Yeah, I feel like this one. And then delete the other one. Alright, hopefully this is much better. I'll give this actually a name, maybe. Yeah, it loops. Okay, perfect. I'm just gonna now turn on the aisle. Alright, just sending a message and then doing the announcement for stream. But yeah. So anyways. Okay, perfect. I'm just gonna... There you go. Muted, because I don't want to hear myself. I don't mind hearing myself, but... Yeah, it's not me. It's not about me right now. So yeah, I feel like it's only fair that this video is not really I kind of was thinking of this, if I was more poetic, it'd be a YouTube video. It'd be a YouTube video. And no, this is not about the doc, as the thumbnail might suggest. Just sending this over, hold on. To law chord. Yeah, just turning stuff off and turning... Hopefully my streaming is okay? Because I know it was stinky last time. Apparently it's okay right now. If there's any more issues, I'm gonna get very sad. Like, pretty sad. So yeah, why am I here? Why am I not here in terms of the living part? In terms of the aisle part? What's the point of this stream? And for many people, most of you will be asleep, and so this is not live, so it's going to be very chunky and choppy and all that crap stuff like that. I suppose that's a light claw stream, and if it wasn't, then it's not a light claw stream, is it? How do you know that bad things are gonna happen to good people, very good people? I'm just gonna play a bit of. No, we can't, Derek. I don't know if the server's gonna come back. That's the problem, Derek. Derek's not in the chat, I bet, so... Look... I think it's about time to talk about the past year. A year has finally... Or not a year has gone by, but more than half a year has surpassed... Hey, White Falcon. Scotland. It's good to see you, White Falcon. I don't think you've been in my streams before. So, it's a pleasure. Although this stream isn't supposed to be I'm not very good at streaming, but I do it a lot because it's the most easiest. And I'm currently loading up the that's why there is a funny background thing. I've kind of orientating this stream to be a bit like a love letter without the poetic in it, and without the love, just a letter. But I'm doing it without a script. Maybe the real punk rock is Minecraft server coming back. This is true. I believe you. But yeah, as you can hear in the background, the R's gonna load because I want to do some IO. Oh. this pointed. Tata. I should have been streaming the Minecraft stuff, but maybe next time. But yeah, what is the point of this lovely stream? This fine evening, afternoon, morning, night, blah blah blah. The point is, as I said just before, it's been a while. Not since I've last streamed. That doesn't really matter, let's be honest. It's been a while since the Isle Law has... The Isle Law. Survival mod pack. Interesting. Minecraft Ancient Dawn. Oh my goodness. I get too distracted. What mods does it have? Let's see. Apologies for anyone watching the stream in the post. Let's see. No, it's okay. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. You don't have to worry. Let's see what it says. Mods added. Unearth journey, nifty mobs. Okay, doesn't look bad. Anyways, it's okay. I'm now going to worry about the part that I want to worry about, which is the Isle Law. If anyone is here from the channel for Isle Law, probably know that I haven't really made a proper video in a while. Again, it's not about it's not about how slow I make videos. It's more about the other aspect, the content of what I make. A very last video, lore video that we have gotten is file recovery USGX 9921 C578, and that was from the 2nd of April, 2024, or the 1st of April if you're American, and that is a long time ago. Of course, it's the biggest problem is 1 second, just changing my thing, Bob. The biggest problem is that is the last thing we've had in the Isle for lore in a long time. And I suppose this stream is kind of a... You can hate me as much as you want anyone about saying, oh, you're just crying, and you're just, you know... I don't know what to say, but there are things that you can say that would basically say you are, you know, crying and having a sook and you're having a wuss and you're a wuss for getting disappointed and stuff like that, you know. But I think for me the Isle was purposely incomplete because just as in a foxhole they want to tell through the map. Oh no, it's not like I do agree there is an aspect where the lore is supposed to be mysterious, an aspect where it's not a story game, it's not Red Dead Redemption 2, you're not being fed, you know, a story, it's not a movie, it's not in your face, it's multiplayer first, and that's where the big, not problem, but like the sore thumb grows out of it. And the aspect of the sore thumb is, we're always last. We're always the last people to be catered towards, I suppose, in terms of the community. If you subdivide the Outlaw community, you can clearly tell that there are different aspects of the community. There's the realism peoples, there's You know, the PvPers, the TDMers, the deathmatch peoples, the people who worry about combat and balance. There are the survival, people who purely care about survival. They're part of the majority multiplayer gaming experience. They're part of the main focus. They are the gamers of the community, the main part. And so the biggest aspect that they're catered towards is that devs highly worry and play around a lot with balance. So therefore the balance junkies are therefore being fed a lot of aspects on balance, you know, change and change and change. So they give their output and blah blah blah. There's the communication between trying to balance it and blah blah blah. You know, I'm saying blah blah blah, but balance. You have the people who, therefore, the balance are a bit of the PvPers, I suppose, because you know they are part of the same level. And then you have the survival people, the worries about the main foundation of the game in terms of gameplay. People like Hacker, especially, who worry about the survival. The goal, the game, is to survive. You're playing as a dinosaur. We need the dinosaur loop to be fully fleshed. You know, the gameplay loop, needy, necessary of elders. And then you have, they're the main community. Of course, there's little subsects here and there, but those are the majority of people are in that because that's the gaming side of the community. Of course, that changes in every game, and you know, it's where I am is I'm a part of the lore community, especially because that's the aspect of the game I'm very interested in. But yeah. And of course, this is like a no-brainer. I don't really need to explaining it, but yeah, that's how it's subdivided. And yeah, we're not really catered towards in any regard, for most regards, in terms of we are the last worry, you know, in terms of the, oh, I've stuffed up the camera, in terms of what the devs really want to worry about and have to worry about. The last thing that they need to worry is lore. How'd you live? You die, nest, you become old, die. But sadly, people skip the nesting part. Yeah, it's hard. I mean, I have my problems with nesting currently in this current phase. They could have done it a lot better, in my opinion. I was a part of stress testing when they did it. I gave my opinions. Of course, I'm not very good at that stuff. So the problem is with stress testing, people would kind of consider it as a aspect of, oh, give your feedback and everything will change. You know, it's stress testing. You know what the word stress testing means? It's stress test. You're testing the capabilities of the server. But yeah, but yeah, um, and yeah, hello winter. But here's the thing. That's the thing. And thank you, Winter. I hope you've been well as well. I suppose we can always hope that everyone's well because life can be pretty stinky sometimes. I'll read your comment better though. Invest in this game when it's so little or any playable. I'm super excited to see always ways off. Really, I'm okay. Yeah, I mean, yeah. And the problem is for me, it's so hard. I should have maybe turned this into a video instead of making it a stream where I'm always very distracted. I think the biggest issue is because we are so underlooked, and there's no worry, there's no care. Of course, it's not saying that Dondi doesn't care about lore. Of course, he cares about lore. But it's just so slow, and I think it's just gotten at that point where I've now starting to get a bit disappointed, a bit sad. Not disappointed at anyone, just sad, and there's a lot to reflect on. I want to make like a new lore video, like Augustus, and it's just hard when nothing happens. Our last ever video was USGX 9921 C578, but there was a second video that came out in July, the 25th of July officially. And why I don't consider that a video is it's not really a long story, it's just a bit of it's kind of a hurdle. And I'll explain it why. I'll explain why, and this will go into what I am really disappointed about. We have... I'll actually get it up on stream as well. Display capture. I was going to show everything, right? No? Yeah, it's going to just show everything. Not what I want. 1 second, sorry, peoples. But, once I get this, I'll just show... I think it's window capture, yes. This one. Don't look at the Vsauce. So we have this lovely video. Came out 25th of July, 2024. Technically, it came out a bit earlier. And so if you don't really know, if you're a bit new to the whole aspect of the purpose of this video, why it was released, why is it here? Actually, the reason why we have it is... wow, okay, it doesn't show when you do that. The reason why we have it is because of a thing called a lore hunt, or the lore hunt. And the lore hunt was a little, like, not a little, but it was a nice event that happened during July on the Horde test. I think it was the Diabloceratops Horde test. Probably will be fact checked once people see the stream, if they do see the stream. But basically, the lore hunt, also known as just the scavenger hunt, because it's the only thing we just like the term lore hunt here. But the lore hunt was basically a scavenger hunt, which had the lore community going around and trying to find, during the Horde test, a certain lore entity or lore thing. I talked about it in the second Diabloceratops analysis breakdown video on my YouTube channel. Don't need to watch it, it's very long, it's like 30 minutes long, but it's at the end of the video. I have bookmarks in case. But it was a very fun event. Donnie said, hey, there's something, go find it. We were like, really? And he said, yes, it'll be in soon, which killed us. So every single Horde testing over the July-June period, every update would go in, we try to find, we go to every single base, we try to find if we can get the mutation for reading lore. We can never get it, we can never find a way to get it. And then, I think Dondi told us, or something, there was a day where maybe Dondi hinted at it, and he said this, he told us what it wasn't, in terms of, like, he told us it's not a building, it's not this, it's something physical, it's something small, and then Serato found it, the Serato, on Isle Cord. And basically, we found it, and it was a tiny little trail camera. I'll send you what the model looks like. It's on the Isle of Rima archive server, and it was very nice. I think it was this one. Yep, it's this one here. It was, as once it loads, oh my god, it was this. I don't know if you can see, yeah, this right here. Not this base plate. It was the broken variant model of a T-cam, also known as a trail camera. Nothing really to say it's a trail camera, but, you know, it's in the middle of nowhere. It's a camera with things that you set it up, you know, base plate. So, and this is the new, like, the unbroken version. This was in a specific location. I'll tell you about what and where the specific location was. And, like, 30 meters away, maybe 20, give or take, this was right next to it. Like, far away, but you had to find it. And etched on the side of this camera was a random sequence of numbers. The sequence of numbers, actually, was this code, although not specifically that. It was a bit different. I can probably find a photo somewhere, but I won't waste your time. It was this sequence, but just, different characters because it was a different video that sent us. But we basically, it was like, oh, it's a YouTube link. We paste it into YouTube. Bingo, bongo, bango. This video comes up, although it wasn't posted in the aisle, it was posted in a channel called GW_F5. That channel no longer exists. It's either private or has been deleted. We don't know. It was under the same title, same description, but just different channel. Same video length, same contents of the video. It's the end of the standard video without the B. It's what happens directly after it. And what happens is it falls, we have a bit of crashing, a bit of bugging, and then we see the Diabloceratops carcass over there. And then the mighty Allosaurus comes by and eats it. Gone. Finish. Finito. Done. That was the video. Now, there was a lot of excitement. There was a lot of cool stuff. Hold on. But basically, that video comes out, we're all excited, like, oh my goodness, this is actually really sick. As you say, White Falcon, it's a very good interactive aspect. And it was a very fun event. Took us 2 months to find, or not realistically find, but it was a lot of hype. Basically, only the lore community knew about it because I guess we didn't really want to spoil the fun. And if no one wanted to announce it officially, we didn't want to overburden, I don't know, maybe that's gatekeeping, but we didn't gatekeep as in we were always talking about it in the lore theories. We were talking about it also in our discussion. And if people wanted to learn about it, they could. There was a few people who came and joined and had fun with us, but there was no official announcement, no nothing. There was no, come on guys, let's go find this. It was just, this is a thing for the lore community. Let's just keep it to that. And Dondi said this is him testing for future stuff that he might do. And that was a year ago. That was exactly, oh my god, that was exactly a year ago. Exactly 1 year ago. That video was officially released. People saw it. People don't really have the context to it, but that's fine. So, what's the problem? Wasn't that what the Isle lore people and community want? That would feed them for a few months, I'll just tell you. A week later, I mean, we've always been stumped about it. We have so many things that we want to talk about. In terms of that, in terms of the implementations of the type of storytelling that can do. But the storytelling we got from that trail camera, I'm just going to, if Dondi's ever going to listen to this, I apologize. I will be as harsh and realistic as I should be because that is what we should do as content creators and as people, especially in this time of politics. It was disappointing. It was flaccid. It was weak. It was as well and good as that link was, and how Don made it in terms of us trying to find it, because the actual etchings were so hard to read at daytime. You had to read it at nighttime to really get the writings. Because when I first saw it, I didn't even realize there was etchings on it. Come nighttime, you can easily read it, especially with night vision on, of course, because it was back that time when it was actually pretty dark. Because of gamma, anti-gamma precautions. So, here we are. And we were talking about it, and it's pretty disappointing. It was so good, up until the point that we realized, what did we learn from this? In terms of lore. I know with Falcon you say this is, environmental storytelling, but, the difference between Foxhole and what this event was that Foxhole, you'd get information on the story. In this, there was nothing given to us. It was just the end of this video. of the USGX 9921 video. And like this video, there's nothing else to it. Like, we learned nothing. There was glitch moments in the second video, in the B version of the video, which this is not the B version. You know how there's got the glitchy elements, how the glitchy elements have like lore slides shows embedded, so we get to learn about some stuff, which is actually really handy. If you see my breakdown video, ta-da, you'll see what I mean. But we got nothing. We got like 2 glitch screens that actually showed us slideshows in the B version of this video, and it just reused old stuff. Of course, Dondi said this was a test, and I understand. I completely understand. But the B video was not made for us. The mechanics behind, well, not the mechanics, but the us trying to find it was made for us. But what we got from it was nothing. It was nothing. It was not made for us. It was, though, made for someone else. Another community, or another subdivision in the Isles community. It was made for the dinosaur people, the people who don't care about lore. Literally the gaming part of the community. The part that love Allosaurus, which is the majority. It was an apex. It brought so much debate and so much talking and so much stuff. And instead of it catering towards lore people for a bit, it completely catered towards trying to find out what the shadow was in this section for about a month or 2, until Felipe and Dondi and Punch, they all came and said, no, this is not this is not Rex, it's not Hyper Rex, it's Allosaurus. And that was it. And yeah, it was like nothing for us, and I'm completely fine with it because, surprise, surprise, doesn't really matter for us, because it's, I mean, I don't know, maybe it should have mattered. But yeah, that's all we got, and no, I would not agree that the assets exist without some dev made. I don't agree with that. If you're talking about visual assets, like, hold on, there's some frame issues, sorry, if there's any internet issues, please tell me. Like, stuff like this, hold on, let me just... Stuff like this, these models and stuff like that. Like, these models, I don't think that they need explanation. Explanation is too much, in my opinion. I like a lot of explanation. We don't need to know why everything is here, like why this is specifically here, and every single detailed reason, every single dot point, every single document. We don't need that realistically. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. I didn't mean to do that. We don't need that per se. Oh my. But yeah, I'm just going to go back to this. I don't think that that's the biggest problem. Again, it goes back to what I've been talking about. We are not the priority. Well, we as in the lore people are not the priority. And this is one scenario of it. Another scenario is just like everything is based around the game. That's obvious. Like that's one part of being in the game, is that the lore is always last, because it's not gameplay, it's lore. But so I'm disappointed. I was very disappointed with this. Not with this video, as I was not. This video was amazing. The B video, though, that was disappointing, because it wasn't just released, in terms of it wasn't released by itself for no reason. It was released because we found it. And we as in the lore community found it, and we got nothing out of it. We got a cool little thing, we got a cool little, you know, all the story was amazing, not story, but all the way getting it was fun. It was so good getting the community together for a purpose, for a reason. And then yeah, we, as I said, wrong community it was made for. Well, the other community, which I shouldn't say wrong. Oh, that's terrible what I'm drinking. Ugh. But this is not the only reason that I'm disappointed, I suppose. One of the biggest reasons is that time has flown so much, and nothing has realistically happened. 1 second. They can't listen to me, they're blind deaf. Yeah. And we've gotten to this point that, as I said at the beginning of the video, that it's been a year now. More than a year since our last video. Our last proper hard lore video that gave us lore. Then we also have a few other stuff we can technically talk about that is hard lore, but no, not really. Let me take you somewhere on this. Oh, my phone is ringing. You want to hear what it sounds like? You ready? Oh, it's cutting out. Hold on. 1 second. Oh, well, Winter, you're talking about those type of assets. Well, let me show you to this picture. Glance sheets. We have lore in them. We have lore in dinosaurs. I don't think we lack lore on the dinosaurs. I don't think we need lore for the dinosaurs. I think it goes to a problem. I think needing to know everything in our lore context, or just lore in general, it goes to a problem that I don't like within games. Games are commodifying and turning into a capital lore and storytelling, and am not very. I don't really get excited about stuff like that. It's why I don't want Dondi to force lore, and this is the problem. This is where the hypocrite side comes out of me. On one side, I want lore, but the other side, I don't want lore to be shoved down our throats, because then you're just desensitizing lore. You're just turning lore into this market, like in FNAF, and in like the games that say, look at our lore, look at Hello Neighbor, DMing and sending messages to MatPat to try to solve it, blah blah blah. I don't want to know everything about dinosaurs, and I feel like the glance sheets, though, are handy. Like, they tell us things about dinosaurs, and the good thing with the glance sheets, at least, though, is that they're minimalistic. They're not supposed to be, here's a dot point to everything. Of course, yeah, I mean, it's called unhelpful for a reason, because none of the information should be very trustworthy. But my biggest, the thing is also that we then go to, this. This is really interesting. This picture was given by Dondi for this. God damn it. I hate streaming so much sometimes. But this lore is, this was sent, and this is for going to be the hubs. One aspect, when we asked Dondi about these things coming in, like documents like this, coming into the game for the hub, he said it'll be the last thing added. Of course, like, hub is a big lore thing, I suppose, but again, we're sidelined. The hub was actually added in a stress test, not stress test, a horde test, a few months ago. It was right here in the middle of the volcano. It's not here anymore. The closest thing we have is these areas, which they're fine. They're fine. But yeah, but yeah, we were gonna get that, but we don't. We don't have it. But yeah, and so we have a few things realistically that are really disappointing and just becomes a bit annoying at times because it's been a year, we've gotten nothing, well, like, properly we've been gotten nothing, and it's just so boring, I suppose. And I guess this is an aspect of the Isle. The Isle has always been slow and stuff like that. And, like, I think the biggest issue right now that is making me want to do this stream is that Dondi said this message when I was talking to my brother about it recently. And he says, fun fact, there's an unreleased lore video because it includes T-Rex, and I don't want to be dragged out into the streets and beaten if I released it without the Tyrannosaurus being playable. Just standing there menacingly. I think this is, like, my biggest issue right now, because this is actually really new. I understand why there's no need to rush, but at the same time I don't want... My notes is getting blocked. At the same time I don't want... At the same time that I don't want the Isle lore being commodified and being pushed into people, there's a big issue with trying to... There's always a play of balancing everything, and Dondi knows that we exist. Dondi knows and is making lore for us still. He has been. In the beginning of the year, he was making a gigantic document for lore. And, you know, in June of 2022, July, June, whatever it was, we were supposed to get a really big lore drop, and we didn't get anything because Dondi actually had stuff he had to do. Even though he said a few months before that he had... But, you know, life happens, and therefore plans change. And exactly as you said, Winters... it's definitely not bad getting those type of videos being like a really nice balance of both. And yeah, of course I would prefer maybe having lore, but of course what this quote basically says is, as much as I care for the lore community, as much as I don't mind them and stuff like that, Dondi just said, we have made a lore video, and we're not going to give it for the lore people, because the majority of the community, which are the non-lore people, they're the gamers, don't have the official Rex. Which is a bit annoying. I understand Rex is the biggest thing, like, it is, like, the Isle is not the Isle without Rex. It's the literal profile picture of the Isle is a Rex. The background is a Rex footprint. There is